Hi friends! So today we're going to do something I hope that is super duper fun, and we're going to build off of this project. But one thing that I have really missed doing with you all since we have been at home is painting. So I have done lots and lots of research to find ways for us to be able to paint together with minimal supplies. Okay? So a few things that we're going to need today is washable markers are the main thing. If you do not have washable markers, then you can use food coloring or even makeup. If a grown-up that you live with has some cool makeup that they don't use anymore. Or I have another video about how to use natural materials that's underneath. So if you don't have these materials here, you just go ahead and go to the next video and you can use that video, okay? But if you do have these supplies or food coloring, then we're going to do this stuff, okay? So the first thing that we're going to need is you're going to need the washable markers. They have to be washable markers. They have to say washable markers on them, or the Crayola Classic markers. Those are washable. They do not need to be permanent markers. And they can't be pens. Pens don't really work very well with this. It cannot be a Sharpie. It cannot be a Sharpie. Okay? Then you're going to need some sort of cup. Like, this is a cup that I made in college. It's just like a little ceramic cup. I'm sure you've seen it. I use this cup all the time for my water cup. But I've added water to this cup, so you're going to need water, okay? And then you're going to need a piece of paper, all right? And the first thing you're going to need is some sort of plastic. So I have this little plastic bag that had some different mask pieces in there. So you can use a plastic plate. You can use the top of your pencil box, a ceramic plate, and grown-ups, I promise, all of this will come off. Because it's washable markers, we are gonna pull the ink off of it, okay? So we're gonna start with some sort of plastic or aluminum foil. All right. So on your paper that you have here, the first thing I want you to do is with a pencil, I'm using a Sharpie, that way you can see. But with a pencil, I want you to draw 4 boxes, okay? 4 boxes. We can't use one of the markers because the marker is going to wash away, and I'll show you what I mean later. But if you use a pencil, it will not wash away. All right? So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this plastic that I have here, okay, and this plastic bag that I got, and I am going to add some ink to this plastic bag. Okay, I'm just going to color. It doesn't have to be a lot. You can put a lot if you want to. You don't have to, though. Then you can either, if you have a paintbrush, you can take a paintbrush. If you do not have a paintbrush, that is totally okay. You can use a paper towel or fabric. So I have this paper towel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist, or if you have a paintbrush, you can use a paintbrush. And then I'm just going to dip the paper towel into the water, and I'm going to put it over top of all this ink that I just colored. Okay? Now, I can go in, and I can add that ink to my paper. It's a little bit hard to see, so hang on just a second. All right, there we go. That's better. So I have my paper towel. I dip it in water, and I'm going to add water to where I just colored on the plastic. And then I can come back and add that color onto my paper, right? And the more water I add, the lighter that color is going to be, okay? So, and then we can kind of wipe this off if need be and add another color to it, okay? So I am going to use another cool color because cool colors together, when mixed, they do not make brown. But if I take a cool color and a warm color, do you know what happens? They usually make brown. So I'm going to take my paper towel, I'm going to dip it in the water, just like this. I'm going to touch my plastic bag, and then I'm going to come in and add color. just like that. See? So this is doing watercolor with different types of materials, which I think is really cool. So now I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to add some red, which red is a warm color, but to make purple, do we know what colors we use? If you said red and blue, you are correct. So I know that adding a little bit of red will not hurt this, right? There we go. Awesome. So we're going to move on to the next type, or the next thing that we can use to paint. Okay? And this is actually really cool. So, and this one is going to be a little bit brighter and a little more rich, the color is. So I'm going to use some orange. So this one, we actually just color on our paper. Okay? Just like this. And I'm going to use a paintbrush this time, but you can use the paper towels. And when we color on our paper and add water to it, since it's washable, which means that when we add water to it, it kind of disappears. But when it's on our paper, it stays. Isn't that really cool? So, I'm going to show you again. We can color with our markers. And then we just paint over top of it with water, and it makes a really cool watercolor. Isn't that awesome? All right, guys. So our next one is one of my all-time favorites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some glass. But with this, you can use aluminum foil, plastic wrap, you know, anything that's kind of a slick surface, okay? But what I'm going to do, and grown-ups, if we do a frame, all of this will come off because it is washable marker, right? So I'm going to color right on the glass, okay? I'm going to color right on the glass, color. Now, this works best if you have a spray bottle, but if you don't have a spray bottle, that is totally okay too. We can add water to it with a paper towel, or even if you want to add water to it with a paintbrush, you can do that too, right? But I'm just going to spray it with my, whoops, we don't want to stream, there we go, with my spray bottle. Now, we have to be a little bit precise with this, but we have our color, or our ink, on our paper, and then I'm going to flip, see I have my two paintings there, I'm going to flip my paper over, and I'm going to smash, gently smash, and then when I lift up my paper, it's like magic. See, this is where I just drew on the glass, okay? That's where I just drew on the glass. So, for the last one, I want you to come up with a different type of idea. What do you think you could do to add pigment to this? If you're using food coloring, you just take a few different jars, add food coloring in the different jars, and paint on the paper. What can you do if you're using makeup or some other kind of material? So, I cannot wait to see what you create with these different techniques. So go ahead and practice each of these, and then we're going to make one big project. You're going to practice all 4 of these on your own, and then you're going to get another piece of paper and practice one of these 4 techniques and just cover your entire paper with color. And then we're going to do something else with it tomorrow. So I will show you exactly what I mean here in just a second, okay? Hey guys, so I just finished my big full paper, okay? So I finished my 4 squares, and then I decided that I was going to do the technique where I colored on the glass and then spritzed it with water, and then I laid my paper down on it so it covered my whole paper. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to add a background to this, or this is our background. We're going to add a self-portrait to this painting here, okay? So we need to make sure that you put this somewhere in the sun where it will dry, and make sure that you keep up with it for tomorrow. Okay? So, and make sure you upload a video of what you've created today with this painting technique that you chose. All right, guys. I cannot wait to see what you made, and I'll see you later. All right, bye, guys.